Hello to our viewers. I'm John Fowler, President and CEO of People's Self-Help Housing. And I'm here today to share a little bit about what People's does on the Central Coast, but more particularly about what's happening with the Lompoc Housing Assistance Fund. And with me today is Sheryl Flores, who's with People's Self-Help Housing as well, Vice President of Home Ownership, and Sheryl Alarcon, who's the Community Development Program Manager for the City of Lompoc. And first, a little bit about People's Self-Help Housing. We're a local nonprofit, originally started in 1970 to provide affordable housing and programs that lead to self-sufficiency for seniors, families, and special needs on the Central Coast. In Lompoc, we've assumed the management of a 35-unit apartment complex, and while we don't have other management or ownership opportunities here in Lompoc right now, we are excited to be part of and working with the City of Lompoc and the Santa Barbara Housing Trust Fund to bring home ownership down payment assistance program. So with that, I wanted to ask Christie, to share a little bit about, how did this program come about?
A few years back, the City of Lompoc's City Council recognized the need for homebuyer assistance in Lompoc. And through our Housing Trust Fund, they established the opportunity to utilize those funds for homebuyer assistance. Those funds were allocated at that time for a homebuyer assistance program, but then we needed to develop it and we needed to operate it. And recognizing that this was a specialized need and service, we went out with an RFP and reached out to consultants who would be able to develop a program and then implement a program. And the Housing Trust Fund of Santa Barbara County did that, and they contracted with People's Self-Help Housing, and now we have a wonderful program that we're using and gonna start, we have assisted quite a few households here in Lompoc.
Great, and Sheryl, maybe you can share with us a little bit about how the program works.
Well, with rents soaring along the Central Coast, many Lompoc residents would like to buy a house. In order to prevent future rent increases and stabilize monthly income, home ownership also encourages families to become more involved in their community. Many households have stable incomes, but they can't seem to save up enough for 20% of the purchase price of a home, which is what most mortgage lenders require to get their best terms. The Lompoc Housing Assistance Program provides a 30-year deferred payment loans of up to $50,000 to assist first-time low-income home buyers to purchase a home in the city. The funds are intended for the down payment for households earning up to 80% of adjusted median income, or AMI, and that varies with household size. The loans have no monthly payments. They accrue 3% interest and ultimately need to be repaid when the home buyer refinances, sells, or transfers title to his home. Home buyers are required to put down at least 3% of the cost of the home. However, the buyer can put down only 1% and receive a gift from another party. The program doesn't work for every household. Some households make too much money, some have too much debt to meet the ratios, but there are many families being helped by the program.
So what are the maximum income that are allowed?
The maximum incomes vary with household size. For example, a household with 3 persons in it can't make more than $68,450, but a 4-person household could make $72,050. There isn't really a minimum income. That's determined by the cost of the home, the terms of the mortgage, and other factors.
Great. So how can we find out more about this program? How can people dig into it and find out if this works for them?
More information is available both on the city's website and on People's Self-Help Housing's websites that's showing on the screen right now. Basically, there are 7 steps to the program. And the first step is to complete the homebuyer education course. It's available online, and by participating or enrolling in the course, you find out what are the questions you need to be asking the realtor or the title company or the lender before you get too involved in this. And that link to the website is also shown on the screen. The second step is to obtain pre-approval from the mortgage lender so you know how much of a house that you could afford to buy. We have a number of lenders that are approved for the program. We will work with Bank of America, Broadview Mortgage, Guild Mortgage, Rabobank, Wells Fargo, King's Mortgage Services, and Ventura County Community Development Corporation. The third step is to get your income certified by People Self-Help Housing to make sure you're in that window of eligibility. Step 4 gets exciting. You go out and work with a realtor. You find the home you'd like to buy and you make an offer. The next step, the 5th step, is you work with your mortgage lender to get the loan approved. The 6th step is when Peoples reviews your application, makes a recommendation to the city, and contacts the title company. And the final step is escrow and loan closing, and that's when the city and Peoples coordinate with your lender, and the purchase is closed and recorded.
Wow. Thank you, Sheryl. So, Christie, how many families do you think can take advantage of this program?
When we funded the program and took it to council for funding, $1 million was allocated solely for the loan assistance. So at the maximum loan amount of $50,000, that's about 20 households. We have realized over the first few loan closings that most of these households aren't needing the whole $50,000. So I'm hoping we can get a little more bang for our buck and maybe get up to 24 loans out of this. But the City Council loves this program, and they recognize that we want our lower income households and families to really attain and accomplish that ultimate goal of owning your own home. So they have mentioned many times that they would love to allocate more funds to this program. So once we get to that point where we think we're getting low on the funding, we will definitely be going to council and asking that the Lompoc Affordable Housing Trust Fund be tapped again for more funds.
Great. So you can see one of the homes that was financed by using this program, one of the four houses that have used it to purchase a home here in Lompoc. And I want to thank Christie and I want to thank Sheryl for joining us today to share us the information. And we're going to take a small break and come back and talk about People's Self-Help Housing.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sheryl Flores with People's Self-Help Housing. We were just talking about people's involvement with the Lompoc Housing Assistance Program. However, beyond this collaborative effort with the City of Lompoc, People's Self-Help Housing has been developing housing on the Central Coast for almost 47 years, creating nearly 3,000 rental and self-help opportunities. Here to tell us more is John Fowler, President and CEO of People's Self-Help Housing.
Well, thanks, Sheryl. So People's Self-Help Housing is committed to social justice, inclusion, and in diversity. We take a holistic approach to resident services once a housing development has been completed. This translates into educational programs, health services, and meaningful outreach to community building programs that aid our tenants to grow as individuals and families and leads to enriched lives and feels a sense of community.
We have seen affordable housing needs on the Central Coast rise for the middle class or the work class. Is People's Self-Help working with this?
Absolutely. So workforce housing is definitely risen to the top of our list of priorities. We're currently working on a development on Broad Street in San Luis Obispo, which will provide home ownership opportunities for 42 homeowner families. And those incomes are going to range from 80 to 160% of area median income. The demographics, this particular demographics has been left out of the market for a long time and unable to attain appropriate housing at rates that they can afford. In order to address this shortage of workforce housing, we're working with businesses, community leaders, real estate, mortgage representatives, and other nonprofits to create a model that can be replicated in other communities on the Central Coast. Workforce housing solutions are a win-win for all involved. It supports our local economies. It can be used as a recruiting tool to attract and retain talented workforce talent in a very competitive market. So stay tuned to this. You're going to hear more about this as we develop it.
People's is not just about housing. What are some of the other services that People's provides?
Well, rental housing opportunities, resident services is one of our key successes. We operate 9 learning centers from Paso Robles to Santa Barbara, and through our supportive services program, we work with veterans, developmentally disabled, seniors, families, to ensure that they live live a healthy and meaningful lives, including we provide counseling and referrals to other service agencies and other resources in the community. And then our community building and engagement program connects residents with each other, educates and builds community collaborations that benefit each development that we have. The residents in the neighborhoods they reside in, and the neighborhoods they reside in, sorry. Most of our resident service programs are funded through grants and donations, and we could not accomplish all that we do without committed partners and passionate partners. So who see that the connection between work and health of the community, especially when they witness our residences thrive and succeed.
You mentioned educational services for adults and children. Why are you involved in this, and what have been the results?
Well, our educational program is a tremendous success. Our students from K to 9 increase their grade levels anywhere from 1 to 3 grade levels. We have this collaboration that we do with the parents and the school districts. We have lessons plans, and as part of the strategy, this strategy has been proven to work really, really well with the collaboration of these groups. Even on April 23rd, we had our high school graduates attend our college club program, celebrate by accepting their college acceptance letters for 2 to 4 year colleges. And 9 out of those received a scholarship from People's Self-Help Housing. Adult education and literacy is equally important as it raises the level of self-confidence in adults, which leads to more community engagement as it raises and increases self-sufficiency. And then also our seniors are also enjoying opportunities we provide on site. Attendance gives them a sense of purpose and encourages them to be social and part of the community, reducing an often experienced sense of loneliness and disconnect. So you see our holistic approach and benefits are engaging all ages at our residents.
What does it mean to your residents to live in affordable, stable, well-designed housing, and how does that translate into opportunities for their future?
Well, we all know that a well-designed, clean, and healthy home is the foundation for positive change. Housing is the key. Residents flourish and they grow in a healthy environment that gives them an opportunity to explore their potential in a very safe environment, their home. And it has been proven that a healthy and stable housing situation reduces health risks, illnesses, it reduces health care costs. When a family can gather around a dinner table, children feel protected, secure, and able to focus on learning. When seniors feel safe and happy, when adults can focus on their loved ones instead of their housing situation, this is when people rise above a negative stereotype and feel empowered to achieve and encouraged to take a risk and sacrifice toward a better future. Making the community and our neighborhoods a better place, affordable, safe, clean, and healthy, and well-designed housing is the foundation for this change.
What are the biggest challenge for the future of your industry?
You know, funding is always our biggest challenge, and as the needs are always growing faster than the funding is available. And also finding suitable locations is close to amenities, where housing developments, community can be supportive is important and is always a challenge for us.
In most cases, local government is supportive of your work. What can they do even better, and how can the public get involved to support your efforts?
So the local government is a big part of the housing crisis solution. We know this, and involvement and support in processing affordable and workforce housing developments, and it is key to the relationship that we have with them. The longer it takes for a development to get approved, the longer a family has to wait and the more it costs. So timing is really important. The public needs to be engaged. They need to attend city council meetings and talk to their city council and also planning commissions and support new affordable housing in their communities. And that's important. Not only does it benefit the local communities, but it also ensures the folks residing there will provide labor and services to that community. And those families will live close to their jobs, which means reduced traffic congestion, air pollution, and allows families to spend more time with each other. So instead of commuting to a job far away, they can be at home.
Staying connected with local jurisdiction is a given. Is Peoples doing anything at the state and national level?
We are deeply connected at all levels of the political spectrum, so at the local, state, and the national level on housing and community development efforts. It's essential that we stay on top of these trends and the funding sources that are available, to bring those to our communities and keep us informed. And you know, we attend state conferences and we collaborate with other peer groups to learn what they're doing in other communities and bring that information to our community here. And we're called on many times to present what we're doing here in this community to other communities. So, you know, being involved on the state and national, local levels is extremely important.
And what is your vision for the future for People's Self-Help Housing?
Well, we want to just continue to rise to the housing needs of our community, growing our relationships, growing our collaborations with all the various city and county governments on the Central Coast, as well as all the other nonprofits that operate here. As together, I think we do our best work, and we figure out what that work should be.
Thank you to everyone who tuned in today to watch our program. If you'd like more information about Peoples or how to get involved, please visit our website at pshhc.org or call us at 805-781-3088. Thank you.